Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Error Season 2, Episode 16, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We are Error.
It's one of my favorite episodes of the radio show. An episode entirely dedicated to Hambo.
My favorite episode would be Zingo!
I think I watched like all of Wang's videos this week.
Yeah, I went on a Wang,
a Wang bender.
I went on a Wang retreat, if you will. And,
Who's Wang?
Dude, if you're not watching Wang, you ain't Wang,
Well,
baby.
yeah, bro. Wang bang.
First of all, I think out of the three of us, I'm the uncool one, and I have to be kept to date on cool things.
I didn't hear it right. Did you say you're the young cool one? Because that
I'm
fits,
the
or you're the
uncool
uncool
one.
You're the hipster of the group. You're the coolest.
I should be in the know, but unfortunately, I'm not. I'm a lazy hipster.
Well, he doesn't have any cooking program.
This is pretty much true.
Yeah.
If it's not Maddie Matheson cooking or Claire Saffitz,
I've always
not gonna
wondered
watch
this.
it.
What is it about cooking videos?
Dude, they're super relaxing. Just like watching the process, how methodical a certain person is, or how carefree someone is like, pretty awesome. And I just like watching what people can do with food.
Do you like
I used to watch my grandmother cook all the time.
Yeah.
Not
Do you
like
like
that.
No. What do you mean not like that?
Well, yeah, what do you mean?
What do you
Wait,
mean?
so how do you watch the cooking videos if you don't watch them like you watch
Like
your
that.
grandmother?
I watch them exactly like that. Like, oh yeah, Claire, use that double fudge.
I didn't think that. What the hell? Like, I never thought that.
Like, one of my favorite people to watch recently is this guy named Brad Leone, and he ferments shit.
Okay.
Not actual shit, like food.
Like Jenkum?
Like, puts them in mason jars?
Yeah, put them in mason jars and shit.
With a balloon over
You're
the top?
watching YouTube videos about canning? I used to watch my parents do it. It was boring as shit. How do you make that entertaining?
You gotta watch it. I'll send you the link.
I have. I'm used to it. It's boring as fuck,
Yeah, but
dude.
they probably don't have his personality.
My parents are awesome, dude. You haven't been around them.
Yeah,
and
have
it was
you met
still...
Doug? Where do you think he got his personality?
My dad's on the fucking mantle now. Ron up there. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, bro.
Imagine that. Smaller dick. Same personality. It's awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the We Are Error podcast. This is Duck. I'm here with
Jake.
And
Javi.
And what is the We Are Error podcast? It's a podcast where we talk about movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And this week, we're going to start by talking about freaky news.
Freaking news!
There you go.
I don't know.
All right, I want to
freaky
start
face,
off.
Just know that.
Listen, we live in a wonderful time. It's wondrous. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And I feel like we need to talk about the Storm Area 51. They can't stop us all!
We're faster than the bullets!
Oh my god, I can't wait. Listen. All right, if you haven't heard about this, I don't know where you've been. This Facebook post has went out and they're just like, listen, we need to storm Area 51. We're going to get as many people
Let's
together
see
as
them
possible.
aliens.
There's over 1 million people signed this petition.
All right, and that's what's amazing about it. But what made me so happy is how it's worded. It says, we will meet up at the Area 51 Alien Center tourist attraction and coordinate our entry. We will Naruto run.
Naruto.
This is my favorite line. Oh, wait, is it Naruto? Did I say it wrong?
Naruto.
We will Naruto run. We can move faster than their bullets. Let's see them, aliens.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I couldn't stop fucking laughing, and I sent it to you guys immediately, circled it,
Yeah.
LOL all the way. I sent that to probably everyone, and then Jake sent back a series of memes that just made my fucking day. It makes me so happy because it's so redneck. Just see them aliens!
Yeah.
Get them out here!
You can't go on
Like,
Imgur, Reddit, or
going through
anything
those
without
memes,
fucking
I
seeing
was
this
laughing
shit.
like Muttley from Wacky Race. I was just like,
Dude, here's the thing is it real?
I think
No,
it's a joke.
The guy who put it together, supposedly, he put a disclaimer at the bottom like, CIA, do not raid my house. This is all in jest.
Because the Air Force has been sent out messages like, dude, we will fucking straight up murder you.
But we
if
need
you
to
actually
see
do
them
this.
aliens.
Yeah.
We need to see them.
I love that they don't suppose that there's going to be like landmines all around
Oh,
the
yeah.
fucking place. Or, they don't take into account that there's A-10 warthogs or motherfucking alien
Aliens,
spaceships
exactly.
that can decimate them.
That's my favorite part. Is the first meme was the Juggernuts.
Yeah.
Part Deadpool and it
So
said,
good.
it said alien I'm not
reason.
supposed to see.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, that's exactly what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Area 51 guard, me being ripped in half.
Oh, dude.
But, and that's supposed to be locked up.
That's what I'm
Juggernuts.
saying, like the Juggernuts. But it's so the way it's worded is so fucking amazing.
Yeah, let's see them aliens.
Let's see them aliens. That's I couldn't stop laughing for like 10 minutes.
I'm gonna get what for on that son of a bitch that probed me back in 1973.
So how many people do you think actually show up?
I'm going to go like 1,000 maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a good handful of idiots that are going to show up there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got like 1.7 million people signed up for this shit.
Yeah.
A good 1% of it will.
Would you guys go if you had the money?
Fuck no.
No?
I like living.
I would go and watch from a distance.
Yeah. There you go. I would do that. I would join it. Like, I would get some chairs, some nice
this
umbrellas.
gonna be good.
And just like watch it like old ladies with opera binoculars.
I hope it turns into like an annual event, and then what you just said becomes like you become like in Mad Max Fury Road. You become the what's the bad guy's name?
Immortan Joe.
Yeah, you become the Immortan Joe of that situation. You're like, oh my children, go run towards the 51.
You've been witnessed.
We could be like Statler Warlock.
Exactly.
It's like fucking roasting these idiots and they get shot to hell.
Area 51, huh?
It's like shit like that. It's like, come on.
I love it, dude. So on top of that, the other headline on Freaky News was that this is so good. This made me so happy. You ready? Meth gators.
Oh, God.
Tennessee,
Oh, that's right. You can't flush meth.
Tennessee police warn flushing drugs could create hyper-aggressive alligators. I love it, dude.
That's so good.
They come out of the sewer and they're like, what are you doing, huh?
Dude, this is like the real Lake Placid.
Oh, dude,
Like, I can just
absolutely.
imagine like an emaciated gator just coming out missing teeth like, hey, you got any meth? You got any meth?
I didn't hear them toilets flushing. Where's it at?
Yeah, they don't even want to fucking eat you anymore. They just want fucking meth.
It's like, you want some chicken, gator?
Yeah.
No. Meth.
They're all like depleted and fucking skin and bone fucking
They just
gators.
be calling you from the
But
side
what
of the
if,
street.
what
like,
if
hey.
even better, they start working the street corner after that? So you got hooker, a la hooker. You're like, and then you got
Crocotoots.
Oh, dude.
Dials?
Man, I got a crazy crocatoot last night. She bit.
Yeah.
It was fucked up.
Did the death roll on my Johnson.
It just makes me so happy. What's next with these fucking headlines? All right, so let's get to the actual movie news.
Movie news.
Boodam, Willy Wonka.
Thank you for the wiggly wands. Thor 4 is happening.
Yeah.
That is what they have announced.
yeah.
Taika Waititi shall be directing.
Titty.
And they've actually postponed Akira to let him direct
Right.
this instead.
Yeah, I'd much rather see Thor 4 than fucking Akira anyways.
And Javi, you brought up already what happens to Asgardians of the Asgardians of the
Scars of the Galaxy.
Yeah. How do you want to see that?
I would rather
first,
see
or-
that than Thor 4.
But
They're
doesn't
gonna do that first, I believe.
is Thor 4 going to be Valkyrie then though? Isn't that what that kind of implied in the last
No,
movie?
it implied that she's now the king of
Yeah,
Asgard.
she's
She's not
the queen
necessarily
of
Thor.
Asgard, I guess.
So but
the
didn't
ruler of Asgard,
ruler of
I guess,
Asgard.
would be.
But didn't he give her the hammer?
No.
No.
She's not
No, he
worthy to
didn't.
rule it.
No, he just told her that it's her place now.
It's like,
And then he jumped on the ship.
you see Norway?
Yeah.
It is now yours.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what he did.
So he just shirked off his
He
responsibility.
gave her something that was never really his to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah, he just. Why didn't he?
Yeah,
just
you know what? You can stay here on Earth. I'm going to go on great adventures.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, it's boring here.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
It's like,
Well,
you
maybe-
take
maybe-
this used car and the kids. I'm going to go off and get some cigarettes and everything.
Life on Earth has been life-threatening to Thor, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe
true.
he's just like, hey, I need to go back and find myself.
It's like he got a heart when he was on Earth. And I'm just like,
Do you think Jane got fucking snapped then? Do you think they hooked up once or twice in his despair? Do you think there was a late night text message?
How did
you know?
I want to know how Captain America put that stone back up inside of her.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh shit!
Right?
How did he?
Yeah, you had to go back to the time she had it and fucking...
Right, and inject her again?
Right.
Yeah.
Or inject her again?
he just used
Right
Puerto
up
Rico's
there.
ass. That's all he had to do.
Right, right at the snoot.
Did you guys hear that Netflix has cut 13 Reasons Why suicide scene after years of controversy?
What?
No.
It's been on for years.
Do they have 13 reasons why they cut it?
They don't. They have one. Parents went, boo. Now, here's my problem. They cut the scene from a 3-minute actual showing of the suicide where she cuts her wrist. They focus on her face. It's very depressing. It shows the pain and agony of the suicide. To her looking in the mirror, getting the razor blades out, and then cuts to the parents the next day kind of thing, right?
What the fuck does it matter, man? Like,
What?
okay, so Rules of Attraction had a scene like this in it.
Royal
With
Tenenbaums.
Royal Tenenbaums, exactly. That was my second point that I was getting at. But
I'm with you. I think it's fucking bullshit. Number one, you have changed art, and that's not good. Okay, you pulled a George Lucas on this shit. Fuck you.
Right.
Number two, you're all going to act like it doesn't exist to the point where they have to change. The reason that show fucking existed in the first place was to show what the bullying and the anxiety of high school happens and the terribleness of it.
Yeah, it shows the detriment.
They're saying that it glorified it. Motherfucking, it did not glorify it. It did the opposite. It showed what all that...
It's highlighting it.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's those motherfuckers that are obviously think that it's glorifying it. They have something wrong with them, clearly, whereas we're not taken back like, oh man, this is... tough to watch. Like,
they don't understand what it's like to be in that position.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, you need that kind of art to kind of express to somebody, hey, this is the pain of that actual situation. And if you get to this point, this is the aftermath, and this is what you have to go through. I think showing it and then cutting it and then going to the aftermath totally degrades what it was and what happens in that moment.
And I think showing it and then showing the aftermath will fucking maybe dissuade a kid or two from wanting to like put a bullet in their fucking head.
Absolutely.
It goes with the old adage.
You think you're doing a disservice. You think you're doing these kids a service? No. If anything, you're doing more harm than good.
Right. It's the old adage. If you forget the history, you're doomed to repeat it.
And here's my problem, too. You let kids sit on your fucking phone all day. They watch whatever the goddamn they want to watch.
They're watching shit that you have no idea about.
You have no idea, and you want to helicopter them over this, whereas you could actually have a conversation with them if they watch that shit.
I think that's the point right there. It's because it's making them have a conversation that they don't want to have with their
no one does.
That makes a good point, honestly, though. Yeah,
and if you don't want your kid watching that, maybe you don't provide fucking Netflix for them to watch.
Right.
They're like, oh, well, they're going to find it.
Or
you know what?
They're devices that they have.
Listen, I can go watch 15 guys fucking one girl right now if I want to. Like, you can find anything on the internet. It's literally...
Find alligators on meth.
Dude, it's 2 pages away from, like, me clicking. Like, I can watch whatever the fuck I want.
Still go to fucking goregallery.com or rotten.com.
Absolutely. I could go watch somebody getting their head chopped off with a hacksaw down in Mexico, dude, because shit's fucking crazy in Mexico right now. But I'm just saying, like... You can watch whatever the fuck you want to watch on the internet, and yet you're going to throw fit over Netflix? It's fucking stupid. Along with the cigarette ordeal, where now that they're not going to show cigarettes anymore. I apologize. People were smoking.
It's a depiction of the past.
Absolutely.
You know?
People smoked in the 80s.
Yeah.
We had a thing called Marlboro Points.
Now.
Right.
Do you remember Marlboro Points?
Yeah, I went to school with Marlboro fucking Mile jackets and everything else, T-shirts, whenever I was in 5th grade.
There were incentives to smoking back then. No, but seriously, you're going to act like people didn't smoke. That's a relatively new thing where it's been demonized.
It's like the Germans skipping over all of World War II in their history
books. About German history from 1920 to 1930 and then 1978.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what happened between that? Oh, we lost the records. No one knows what happened.
Well, this is when this shit gets fucked up. Like I get it. It's fantasy. It's a movie or a TV show. But at the same time, people smoke like fucking chimneys. When I was a kid, they did. Like, all the time. Like, everywhere you went.
I still smoke like a goddamn chimney. Thanks, 80s. You ruined my life.
Yeah, fucking 80s. You know what? On second thought, yeah.
Fuck you. Smoke a cigarette. It's great.
Like, you trying to cover up something, that's the one that made kids want to do that even more.
Oh, my God. Hey, I do a nice little rant on there. We did well. I'm just saying.
Definitely.
All right. Avengers Endgame co-directors announced We Love You 3000 tour. What's going to happen is they're going to go city to city, thanking everyone, having a large event like a Hall H, Comic-Con type of thing, showing the movies again, showing stories, screenings again. I think this is an excuse to make up that $8 million they made.
They're going to do anything they can to beat Avatar.
I think it's down to like $6 million now. Like, they had a big jump after Spider-Man also. They're closing the gap on that fucking record.
You know, this is just like a race between two twins who look exactly alike that are trying to get their dad's approval. Who's cuter, Dad? Avatar Endgame.
I feel like I wasn't tempted until this week when I saw there was an $8 million gap, and I was like, maybe I could go see the movie, or at least buy a ticket. Because it is the movie that brought me the most joy in the theaters. I can honestly say that. We stood up and cheered whenever that fucking hammer came up. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's good shit.
I just got goosebumps all over just even thinking about it. Shit's sick.
Quentin Tarantino says if he commits to directing Star Trek, that will be his last movie.
Shit, really?
How would you feel about him ending on Star Trek?
No.
A show, which most of his movies are based on 60s and 70s exploitation films, would be able to exploit to ultimate effect a 60s TV series.
I would not like that.
You don't want that?
I would want him to go out on a movie that he did that's coming from his head, not somebody else's fucking
If he closed it out with Kill Bill 3,
all right,
that would be the shit.
Okay, All right, I will say I agree with that. I want to see Kill Bill 3, but maybe he should make a clause that goes sequels or adaptations don't count. Then you can get rid of Jackie Brown also, which he adapted. And then you can get rid of Star Trek. He's already said Death Proof doesn't count in his 10 films, I believe.
Elroy Leonard novel, Rum Punch or whatever.
That's what it was. Yeah. And probably...
Elmore Leonard.
I feel like it's one of his lesser of his movies, but it's still great.
It is. It's real talky.
Yeah.
It is nothing but dialogue for the most part.
But how do you feel about...
Gilmore Girls.
Do you want to see a rated R Star Trek film?
I wouldn't mind, but I really wish it wouldn't close out on Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Javi on this one. I wasn't like the hugest Star Trek fan growing up. I appreciate the 60s series. I appreciate everything that it paved the way for. But for me, I like his original works. Do like a fucking Quentin Tarantino Vietnam movie. That would be fucking awesome.
I don't think he'll do it. He's even said, I guess if I do this, I have to do a loophole. The idea was to throw a loophole into it. So if I do Star Trek, it doesn't count. Boom, done.
Well, then there.
You know, Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek is essentially going to be a rated R version of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's essentially all it's going to be.
I like
Kick-ass soundtrack, awesome dialogue, good action.
I would love to see, like I said before, Fantastic Four done by him. 100%.
That would be fucking dope.
Now, he's said multiple times he wants a superhero movie, but this would be the closest you probably get. And the script's already been written for it, so who's to say he won't do it? And
well, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want to see it, but I don't want it to be his final movie.
I don't want him to end movies altogether.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Keep doing movies until you die on set.
You know, everybody fucking loves your movie. There's
You're the only person.
one movie that hasn't been a smash hit that is still a fucking hit, and it's Jackie Brown. But everything else in his entire fucking filmography is gold.
You're one of the few directors who can get away with saying, I need to film this in 8mm and we're going to show it and we're going to set up theaters to show this shit. Or I'm going to do this and they're going to come with me. Like, there's only 3 directors I can think that can do that. Him, Christopher Nolan, and to a lesser extent the Coen brothers. And where they get to make whatever the fuck they want. Scorsese too, you're right. So there's 4. So just keep making movies. Who says you gotta stop? And does he stop making movies and start making TV? That would be cool because TV's where it's at now. Long form storytelling.
I would if he's gonna do that, him go to Netflix or Hulu or Amazon.
Yeah, could you imagine if he fucking did like Game of Thrones?
Something like that. Can he do a series like that? Not even an adaptation, an original series. He creates something and he goes, I'm going to use my exploitation, I'm going to use my pulpiness, I'm going to use my love for mafia, westerns.
Do a prequel, do the Vega brothers and just recast somebody else young for Vic and Vince.
Well, I mean, shit, he's been talking about doing Django and Zorro together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's still going to continue to make stuff. I think it's bullshit.
I think he's probably not going to be directing movies if the 10th thing's so. I think that ain't going to stop him from writing movies, pitching around to
studios. Has he not said for a while, though, this is going to be my last film? Didn't he say the fucking Hateful Eight was going to be his last film?
No, he's always said since the beginning he would do 10.
Okay.
Always. But then he goes this way and that.
Fuck,
so.
I really wish he would end on somebody else's property, though.
That's what he was getting at, though. Yeah. There would be a loophole if that were the case, because it wouldn't be his movie.
So Tarantino, don't leave film. We need you.
Yeah, seriously.
Honestly, with everything changing, we still fucking need you. Don't leave.
Just don't make another Hateful Eight.
Yeah. Well, no, I like Hateful Eight.
I love Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight's great, dude. That's like a stage play that was filmed, man. It's
so
amazing.
Goddamn good.
It's a one-room stage play that's just like...
It is amazing.
It's so good. And that ending where they're just laughing as they're dying, you're just like, this is fucking awesome.
Reading the fake Lincoln letter.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's great. All right, so Spider-Man, Far From Home writers considered making Mysterio a Skrull. Yes, that's actually why I thought they were all Skrulls at first. I was like, this isn't normal and this isn't right. I feel like this is a lie. And that's why I was like, these guys are Skrulls. I think it would have worked, but they have said, the writers, we were like, how far can we push this before we make people angry? And they already knew that they changed the backstory of the character so much, they could go 2 ways.
Right.
Luckily, it worked. And also, there's been a big thing about Mysterio showing up in the airport, too. Have you guys seen that this week? Like he's like lurking in the background.
Yeah, he walks by, and he's on the phone, he's looking at him as they're...
Right.
Yeah.
So he had the plan in place. I guess we just didn't catch it. 2 weeks removed, how do you guys feel about that movie still?
Love it.
Still love it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm ready to go see it again. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. The other thing I'm going to say is fan art has emerged. There has been talk of doing Kraven the Hunter, which I know that you were into, as a Wakandan refugee. As a tribe that has been forgotten in Wakanda, and he has a Wakanda tech, and so he actually goes out, and that's where he comes from. This is a rumor, and there was some fan art that popped up that was badass.
So essentially, Kraven could be Black Panther's next villain.
Could be.
And Black Panther, too.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
And then bring him over to the Marvel Universe, or bring him over to Spider-Man. That would be fucking cool. I kind of like that version of him. What do you guys think? Have him?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I agree
Yeah,
with
I
that.
mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it really does.
yeah,
Is he not like Russian in the original
He's
adaptation?
they're both Russian.
yeah. I think they're Russian.
Russian.
in it. Yeah,
But what they can't do if they're gonna do Craven, don't let them be brothers. Don't let them know that they're related. Just fucking retcon that shit.
done and done.
Like they did with
Okay.
everything else in the MCU, pretty much.
I'd be down with that. At this point, they're doing so many different things with the characters, but it seems
It
like
works.
it's acceptable.
It works.
I mean, even when they did the original Raimi trilogy, they changed how the octopus kind of worked as a character, and it worked. I liked it. I was like,
Yeah.
well, that's not the comic book version, but I like this
Right.
a lot. Like, I like this version of the character where he's being manipulated by his arms and stuff like that.
Yeah, you handled the property well enough.
I will tear out the flesh from her bones.
Yeah, it was badass.
Well, I mean, there's certain things that you cannot adapt from pictures in a book to make a fucking full movie out of this. You have to give much more of an arc and everything else for these characters.
And do you think we're much more accepting of it now? Because originally when we started getting these movies, we were like, keep it true.
Right.
And now we're just like, well, let's see what you can do.
Maybe not. Let's not keep it true because
Yeah.
it looks ridiculous if you do keep it true.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they've already knocked it out of the park repeatedly.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to see the most truest comic book movie? Watch the original Fantastic Four movie.
What, with the Roger Corman one?
Yeah.
Like this.
That's what happens when you keep it true.
Right. You get spandex.
Speaking of Sam Raimi, he says he still thinks about his unborn Spider-Man 4 movie. There's been rumors on the internet that they're going to do a Spider-Verse kind of live action with Tobey Maguire Peter Parker and Andrew Garfield Peter Parker and Tom Holland Peter Parker. That's interesting to me. Do you think that the reason he's talking about it is because he's thinking about coming back and helping with that? Do they bring back Raimi for that?
I would bring back.
I feel like introducing J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson is kind of putting the foot through the door for that whole scenario, honestly.
I agree with that. There's a chance that we could see a live-action crossover. And Tobey Maguire is, what, in his 40s now? 50s?
I think it's
Wasn't he
60.
whenever he was filming the first Spider-Man?
I think it was. Absolutely. The other thing that Sam Raimi has said is that he is interested in doing another Evil Dead sequel. Now, we got the TV series, Ash vs. the Evil Dead, and I don't know if you guys know about the ending of that, so I won't spoil it, but there are places they could go with a sequel, definitely. But plus, the timeline for the Evil Dead is always off anyhow.
And so the original ending of Army of Darkness.
Yeah,
where
when he
takes
goes-
the sleeping potion, he takes one too many drops, and he sleeps like fucking 300, 400 years beyond what he's supposed to.
And he shows
wakes
up and there's
and
that giant matte painting of, like, Big Ben is falling over
yeah,
and everything
it's
that you
just
imagine.
post-apocalyptic world.
And so we didn't get that. We got he goes back to Shop Smart.
Shop S Smart.
And that ending's bad. It's
Oh, yeah,
so
so
fucking good, too.
And Bridget Fonda.
Jesus.
Jackie Brown, also.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. So I really like that, which falls into Ash vs. the Evil Dead, which seems like a direct sequel to that. But I would really... I kind of bummed out that series ended, so I wouldn't mind seeing another movie. And do
fuck
what you
yeah.
want with it. I just rewatched the Evil Dead trilogy.
There's
Third one.
Camel Belongs and everything.
Dude, he's fucking badass. Dude. Those movies work.
We should have had him
Work.
as Mysterio in Spider-Man 3.
Oh,
Well, that
fuck,
was
that
the
would've
thing
been
is
dope.
he was supposed
Yeah.
to play Mysterio in
He's gonna
Spider-Man
be
4. The character that he plays through the first three movies, who was an actor, was supposed to be Quentin Beck in the fourth movie.
Yeah.
If I can still do it, I'm down with that.
Fucking amazing.
I would love to see that. That'd be badass. And the last thing I want to talk about is Mortal Kombat will be rated R and include fatalities.
Thankfully, god damn it.
That's
How long
the
have we
way to
been
do that.
waiting for this fucking shit?
Now, do they go as extreme as the new game? Because some of those fatalities literally make me queasy whenever
Oh
I see
yeah,
them.
no, they can't do that. Obviously,
That's
it'd be
insane.
a fucking NC-17 movie.
Beyond that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's like triple X, like
Right.
forever.
I
Like,
don't think you can hit X category for violence, though.
can you? Like, those fatalities, some of those hurt my soul
Well, if
whenever I
that's
watch
true,
them.
then fucking would you rate would you give Trauma an X, a trauma film?
Trauma?
A trauma film?
Would you give a trauma film an X rating?
No, I feel like... But you're right. Those do get... But they're wacky, too.
And
wacky, but
also,
they're
they're
still
not,
gory.
for the most part, not theater released either.
That's true. What kind of movie do you want to see from a Mortal Kombat movie? I want to see an adaptation of Mortal Kombat X. That's really what I want to see, which is the first three games truncated into one storyline. But I guess you can kind of watch that now if you
Do
go
the
online.
original fucking story over again.
You like it like the original movie?
Make it like no. You take the original Mortal Kombat game
Yeah.
and make that into a movie, as opposed to the original movie where they fucked up the original fucking game.
Well, they just put the first game and the part of the second game together and kind of mashed them.
yeah,
So
but
But
still,
do that but better.
Yeah,
I feel
just make it more a true adaptation.
But that's I kind of feel like
says in Stripes. All right, gentlemen, just like last century, but better. Something like that.
But I feel like the first Mortal Kombat movie is almost flawless. Yeah, it's the acting's not great.
Did you just fucking flawless?
Yeah, flawless victory. Maybe it's my nostalgic eyes.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it.
but there was something about it that whenever I was a kid, but even whenever I was watching it, I was like, "There's no blood.
Yeah,
Sub-Zero doesn't rip anybody's head off. Reptile doesn't look like that."
I don't know what version of that you do because, like I said, the first movie's really good. The second movie's shit. I don't never watch that TV.
You know
show.
why? Because it was fucking Ed Boon that directed it.
Well, he needs to not.
You know who
direct
Ed
that.
Boon is? He's the creator of the game. Him and John Tobias. That's Noob Saibot backwards.
Really?
Boon and Tobias.
Well, he did awesome at the fucking games of the most recent ones. The storyline,
Keep the programming.
Like I said, go online and watch you don't even play the game, just watch the cinematics to it. The storyline is fucking amazing, dude. They took it to the next level, so that's why I said maybe you do that. Maybe you do the rebooted version of it.
Okay, so there was a 10-minute short film that came out, well, I guess probably fucking 10, 12 years ago now, but it had Michael Jai White in it. Michael Jai White played Spawn. Yeah, he was fucking
He was
one
in
of
the
bad
Dark
guys
Knight
in the Dark Knight.
and Black Dynamite. Yeah.
Exactly. Dynamite.
And he had
Dynamite.
it had the girl who played 7 of 9 from Deep Space Nine,
Right.
Sonya Blade.
And then it's like fucking Johnny Cage versus Baraka, pretty much.
Well,
in the
they
fucking
spawned
shit.
a web series off that. There's like a bunch of them off of
Yeah.
that. But it kind of went south,
It
so
did.
they got rid of it. But that's how they were trying to keep it alive.
But
then,
that first opening one was fucking dope. They
was.
kept it dark. They kept it gritty. That was the shit that I wanted to see.
you know what I want to see? I want to see the guys who directed Dread make Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
vibe you need for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
You go that way, and then...
How fucking awesome was Dread though?
Oh, so dope.
Dude, they've been...
They got shit on so bad.
They've been working on a TV series for years, man. But that movie holds the fuck up,
Like
dude.
I even like the fucking Sylvester Stallone, but Carl Urban as Dread.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
badass.
He's fucking Surge from fucking Ragnarok.
Oh,
Yep.
man. He's awesome, dude. He's made
Yeah.
some good
Like, he was
choices.
And he's
Destroying
Bones from the
bitches.
Star Trek
Yeah.
movies.
And Doom Guy, I guess,
Yeah.
because he plays Doom Guy. Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. Can anyone guess what we're going to talk about?
Turtles.
Yes, we're going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Are you
How did you
serious?
guess that?
I was
Nicely
just going
done,
by your
dude.
shirt.
You know what? I saw that I put on the shirt, and I said, fuck it, we've never talked about the Turtles, and I know that...
have.
Have we?
Yes.
Yeah, man, we talk about the toys all the time. and
Yes,
shit.
but we've never actually talked about
movies?
any of that. So I
We
think
talked about the cartoon.
we've never talked about our history. There is a video that we talked about it. We've talked about it numerous times by talking about the 90s toys, but we've never directly talked about our love of the Ninja Turtles. And I think this is good because it will correlate with the release of my video of that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rescue Palooza game that just came out. If you have not heard about this game, it is
Every playable character.
It is 60 playable characters from the Turtles universe. It is awesome the way you play it. You start out with the normal Turtles. Every time you beat a level, you get another set of characters that you can play as. It plays just like the 90s arcade game. We will play it later. You guys are going to check it out. It is fucking amazing. It's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rescue Palooza. You can download it for free and play it. If you can figure out how to work Parsec, which should be in my video, then you will be able to play it with your friends online.
I don't know what that means.
You will see.
I know, like Han Solo run the
Kessel Run, 12
Kessel Run.
parsecs.
Which, if you see, is not that fucking impressive.
But it's actually more of a unit of time.
Have you watched Solo yet?
No, still
You're
haven't
not
got
missing
around
much.
to it.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
You did the right thing.
garbage.
It's not terrible, but it's
garbage.
not great either.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But so
It's
Turtle.
muff cabbage.
So whenever you were a kid, Turtles Mania was insane. And I was talking to Ethan about this. He does not understand how nuts Turtles Mania
Ethan's a
was.
fetus.
I know, I've told you all about going to the fucking Six Flags Mall, watching the Turtles coming out
Tell
on their
us-
shell tour.
Tell us the story again. You can actually listen to it on the video, but yeah, you said that you actually went with your mom and your brothers, right?
My mom took me there. It was
Yeah.
at the Six Flags Mall, and we saw them on stage fucking playing instruments like the goddamn keytar and shit like that.
Insane. In the mall.
Yeah.
On like a little
Yeah,
stage.
like literally catty corner to the KV toy store, so whenever we were done, we could just walk over there and buy some fucking Turtles
Fuck
toys.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it like being able to see the Turtles live in person?
It's fucking amazing. I was a kid. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then
this is just shortly after TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze came out. But looking back on it, yeah, the music fucking sucked.
oh, it was terrible.
Didn't give a shit about that, though. It was just like, yeah, the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are here. They're not doing karate stuff.
Well, what's great is the end of that game, and I'm going to give it away, spoilers. When you beat it, you actually get a song from the Coming Out of the Shell tour.
Nice.
And the Turtles playing like the guitar and the bass guitar and all that shit. And that's the ending of the game. It's fucking awesome.
Fucking insane.
Well, let's start with the beginning. What is your first interaction with the Turtles? What is the first thing you ever remember being introduced to the Turtles?
Being in kindergarten, playing on the playground with some friends who are like, I'm Leonardo, I'm Donatello, I'm Michelangelo, and like, Jake, you could be Raphael. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't want to be. I don't want to be a Victorian.
I didn't even know what the fuck it was. The show had just come out.
Right.
Like I think it was like 2 episodes in, and then I went home and watched it immediately, and I was hooked ever since.
Yeah.
I would draw nothing but Ninja Turtle characters.
Fuck yeah, dude. Who was your favorite?
I always liked Leonardo and Donatello. As I got older, Michelangelo, I think I had more of a mental connection with.
Right, quipping and tagging up those jokes and
Being a
hitting all that
stoner,
shit.
eating pizza.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
How about you, Javi? What was your first interaction with the Turtles?
First movie. I remember like in the opening credits where they're like doing pan shots of like quick cuts of
Pan shot.
Pan shot.
They show this goth girl with a mohawk taking out this really awesome looking slice of pizza. And we're thinking, God damn, that pizza looks good.
And that goth girl looks even
Oh, well, they're
better.
sitting in the fucking sewer waiting for the pizza to be delivered, and they knew the trick to get them because it was going to be there in 30 minutes or less.
And that's the thing that people forget. That was a thing. 30 minutes
And
or
for
less.
some reason, I love the way that $5 bill sounded. I don't know why. It was just a very distinct sound. Like especially when like took it through the sewer grate, and it just looked weird to me. That was a weird looking $5 bill.
So you hadn't even seen the cartoon or anything. You saw the movie first.
But that was also the same year that I got my very first Nintendo. And I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
One of the
game.
hardest fucking games ever.
So were you talking about the original Nintendo game?
Yes.
The Ultra game. I know what you, Konami, but the Ultra game. Because what happened was they can only release 5 games a year underneath the name that whatever their company was. So Konami created Ultra games so they could release another 5 games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. That's why the first Nintendo Turtles game is made by Ultra Games. It's just Konami.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just Konami.
That game was a shit. Me and my brother played that shit. I got that for my 5th birthday.
It's shit. I will agree with that.
I loved it so much.
All right, I agree with you. I love it. It's one of those things that's like a bad movie where it's terrible, like The Room, but you love it because it's terrible.
Right.
And how far could you usually make it in that game?
I beat the game.
You beat that game?
You fucking beat it?
Dude, you are a beast if you beat that game. That game is next to fucking impossible. How did you beat that game?
I don't remember.
Me and you are playing that game until you show me how we beat it.
Every time I got to the goddamn water level.
That's what I'm saying, the bombs, dude. Whenever you go and you're freaking out because it's like it's
they
beeping.
got the jellyfish and shit.
Yeah, dude, it's got the weird tentacle, the pink algae or whatever it is, the pink seaweed.
I always thought they were jellyfish.
Dude, it's fucked up, dude. And that last one to get through, you're just the way through.
I know, like, for the harder levels, especially towards the end, I had to get my brother to do it. There's this meme going around, like when the Hulk is putting on the gauntlet, and he goes, my brother beating the heart, I saw that Custom Thor going like that, and he had 5 years old, cheered him on. That's essentially what I was doing. Like, he was beating all the hard levels, like, yeah, go get it, Brian.
Being the tough levels. Yeah. I did beat it on Game Boy.
Yeah, the Turtles game?
Yes.
No, that was more of a side-scroller than it was like that one where it was 2D, right?
Yes, it was. And you're fighting the, goddamn, what are the fucking little bots with the one wheel on the bottom of them?
I don't know, Techno Mites or something like that. Who knows? I know what you're talking about.
So there were the Mousers, but then there were the ones that had the fucking
They look like little
shot out.
fire extinguishers with, like you said, the charged wire that comes
out. So I beat that one, but I couldn't beat the fucking Nintendo
the original
version.
Ultra one is impossible. Who's your favorite turtle?
It started out with Michelangelo. I really liked, and then I got older, and then I was like, I really like Donatello. He's super underrated. And then when I got really older, it shifted to Leonardo.
So Leonardo now.
Yeah.
Michelangelo now for you, Jake, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, whenever we were playing the 4-person arcade, I think me and my 2 brothers and my mom at that point at the same mall that I saw them in, but before we saw them in, we had played that, but I always chose Donatello. I like the bow staff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in the games, that's the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
I just gotta say, it just goes to show, like, even then, I couldn't stand angsty people, even as a child.
Because you didn't like Raphael.
I didn't like Raphael, and I found him to be whiny.
The one character with your accent that you don't like. Like, he's the actual New Yorker of the group. That's ridiculous, dude.
He's just so whiny.
And let me guess, he's
complicated. All right. It is. And let me tell you why. Michelangelo is, out of all the characters, even though I had a little freak out earlier and I pulled a Raphael, Michelangelo is the one character that I identify with the most. The reason I like Raphael, he reminds me of my older brother Matt. My other older brother Matt is Raphael from the Turtles. He is that character. He is complicated. He is angry. He's always like angsty and stuff like that, but he is the most loyal out of all the Turtles. And that's why I love that character, because of my love for my older brother. And when I look at him, I go, yeah, I am the more fun-loving one out of the group of my family. I'm the crazier one. And I'm just like, okay, it's not too serious. He takes everything to heart. But if you attack his family, if you come out from, that's the wrath coming out. And so whenever I look at the Turtles, I say for me, my favorite one is Michelangelo, and I still love him, like, completely. But Raphael, I feel the closest connected. And if you watch those movies or cartoons or anything, those are the two characters that are the closest in all of those. And in my family, I love my entire family, but me and my brother Matt, he's like, when I say my best friend.
It parallels.
Exactly. I say he's, I remember getting into a fight with my first girlfriend once. She was being shitty towards him. And I was like, you can't do that. And she didn't understand. I was like, you can't do that. I said, you cannot be mean to him. I said, because when everything ends, when everything's gone, I said, he's going to be there. Here. He's my best friend. And I said, regardless of the way we act towards each other, he's always got my back and I've always got his.
We love you, Matt.
Yeah, he's amazing. So that's why I love Raphael so much. My first interaction with Turtles, I don't remember. They always existed. Right. They were always there. I don't remember like a time where someone was like, do you like this? I just remember being like, I fucking like this. And on top of that, my dad, Ron Jeremy up there, he endorsed it fully because he loved it as much as we did. He was just like, you guys like the Turtles? You guys like pizza? There's fucking 3 of you. We will feed you pizza all day long. It is cheap as shit. And that's the other thing people forget. Pizza and the popularity of it correlates with the Turtles.
Right.
Pizza was not a big thing before the Turtles came along.
Pizza parties came along after the Ninja Turtles.
Dude, because they made it cool.
Pizza party was a fucking major fucking thing in the 80s.
And that's the thing is, pizza seems like it wouldn't be this way, but it's a cheap food that will feed a lot of people.
And people forget that.
Absolutely, dude. The pizza parties were huge when we were kids. Yeah. How many pizza parties?
Growing up.
Do you remember that?
It was every fucking Friday you'd have a pizza party.
And were the pizzas not directly correlated to the fucking Turtles?
Of course. There was some tie-in, always.
Also, cowabunga.
Yep.
Bodacious. Terms like that. I mean,
Radical.
Cowabunga, radical, all those 90 terms are 100% associated with the Turtles.
Excellent.
Along with that 90s dude of having like an attitude. But that's the thing is the Turtles were a little bit deeper than that. So there were the comics. Did you read the comics at all, Jake?
Some of them. I remember reading the original one.
The Mirage ones?
Yeah, and it was basically a spinoff of Daredevil, is what it was.
Yeah.
So it was this, they couldn't directly say that it was that, but it was the same truck that hit Matt Murdock, causes blindness.
That had the ooze that released to the Turtles.
Exactly, and that's how they became. And everything else paralleled it, like Daredevil fights the Hand, they fight the Foot Clan.
Right. Well, the grittiness of it too.
Yeah, it was very dark. It was noir.
They were doing a parody of Frank Miller stuff at the time.
Yes.
The Frank Miller kind of darkness that he brought to the 80s comics, along with The Dark Knight Returns and the Daredevil run he did. That's what they were parodying. They were saying this is what it is. They were like
unapologetic about it.
It's sarcasm, and this is what we're doing. But that first Turtles comic is fucking badass.
Oh, yeah.
And it is, in a lot of ways, the first Turtles movie. That is what you get with the first comic book. So much so that about 5 years ago in my loft apartment, if you came in, you would see a giant splash screen on top of the loft apartment of that Turtles where you see them jumping into frame.
Right.
Which they parallel once again in the movies. It's fucking awesome. How about you, Javi? Did you ever read the comics at all?
My first introduction to Turtles in the comics was I used to read Usagi Jimbo's comics.
So the Archie comics would be the ones that you were reading, okay? Because there were 2 different series. There were the Mirage and the Archies.
Yeah. And then I remember intrigued by Usagi Jimbo because he reminded me of I don't know if you guys remember this green space rabbit called Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, no, his name was Bucky O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare.
Motherfucker, it was Bucky O'Hare because
O'Hare.
I could do an hour and a half on Bucky O'Hare alone. I love Bucky O'Hare.
I had all his fucking toys, man. To me, that was shit.
Dude, maybe that's why we get along, because I had every fucking Bucky O'Hare toy. I love Bucky O'Hare. Bucky O'Hare was my hero when I was a kid, which was a bunch of Marvel Comics creators. They left Marvel and said, we're going to make our own thing. And it only had like a 3-year span.
Yeah.
Well before Image Comics.
Dude, so good, though. But it was along the same line, because the Turtles brought like this whole attitude era of like mutated animals, and that came off of that. 100%. How about the cartoon? Did you guys? You
Yes.
watched the movie first. I watched the cartoon first.
I'm pretty sure I've seen every fucking
Do you remember
episode.
the VHS tapes you could buy at Burger King?
Yes.
They had like the first couple episodes available, and like it was real dirt cheap too.
Yeah.
And you would beg like your parents, like, can we please get VHS tapes?
Or I used to
Yeah,
rent the
and,
VHS tapes from
and
my
the
school
thing
library.
was, I wasn't a huge Burger King fan. I just wanted the fucking tapes.
Right? Yeah,
Like,
man.
I was like, man, fuck this. I want McDonald's, but let's go by here.
Do you remember-
I'll suck it up and I'll eat these fucking shitty burgers.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Let me get the goddamn tape.
I like Burger King because my grandparents would take us there, but the reason they took us there is because they could still smoke in the Burger King.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about smoking earlier. Like, there was no smoking section in the Burger
Okay,
King.
so whenever
People
I
were
went and
lighting
saw
up.
Turtles out of the show, we could smoke cigarettes in the fucking mall. Not
How old were
we.
you? I was like,
Not we, but I'm just saying, like, we
like
as
7 years
a
old.
people.
Yeah.
And
As
yeah,
a-
I probably did fucking sneak a Virginia Slim 120 out of my mom's purse at that time.
Did you ever do that, though? You know, when the
Oh,
parents
yeah.
buy the carton and you just push up the carton one more and hope they won't notice that
Yeah,
it's
like
missing
my
one
dad
of them?
smoked some Vantages. I don't know if you know what those are,
No.
but I only found out about those, well, obviously because he smoked them, but then I'd go through their closet and see their old porno mags, like the old Penthouse and
Yeah.
Playboys. And that was like one of the main ads in there was like Vantage cigarettes. That's got like this circular filter on the end with like a hole in the
Yeah.
middle.
Oh, I remember those, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tasted weird, though.
Yeah, they were alright.
They were cigarettes.
They hit the spot at the time
Yeah.
when they needed it, so.
Back to Turtles. I'm sorry, I really wanted to go down that route. I was just like, I have so many stories about cigarettes. Maybe we'll do that later. Yeah, Burger King, not great, but the toys were badass, too. Do you remember they had, like, the little weird toys and you'd move it and show their saying, like, their catchphrases?
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that? Fucking crazy. But that's what we need to talk about, the toys. You talked about recently in our 90s cast about having a crate
You had
full
the
of...
van.
Oh, yeah.
You had,
I
like,
had all of
everything.
them. Yeah.
You had
I had
everything.
all.
So you had the van. Did you have the Technodrome? Is that what you said?
Yes.
You had all the toys across the board, even the ones that weren't in the cartoons or the movies?
almost every one. Like, until it got a little bit later on.
I mean, they did the weird ones, right?
Yeah, they got in past, like, what was the fucking duck called? There was a duck
I
that
know
had
what
a
you're
bomber
talking about.
jacket and a fucking
Yeah.
Fuck.
pilot
Yeah, I
cap.
know exactly. what
Javi's
you're talking
on it.
Okay, so, like, this is whenever it's starting to get, like, okay, these are too many characters that I don't even fucking know about. It's just, what is this?
But that's the thing, though, is there were so many. If you watch the Turtles documentary, they talk about just drawing up characters to make toys. Like
Of course.
it was
Ace
literally
Duck.
Ace Duck.
There were
exactly.
literally they
Yeah.
could not sell toys at that point. Turtles Mania was insane, and once again, if you did not experience it, the Turtles were the be all end all. Like that was the ultimate toy for like 5 years.
Oh, that's... Okay, so, if we're going to get to the root of this is all based off Star Wars.
All right, go ahead.
Toy cells.
Yeah,
Was what it's
100%.
all about.
100%.
Okay, so then we got Masters of the Universe, He-Man.
Right.
So they fucking made up characters for this cartoon show. That way they could promote these new fucking toys that they're selling because that's where all the fucking money went.
Absolutely. The 80s
So it
was all
just
about
carried
toys.
over into the Ninja Turtles, and they followed the same scheme, and they fucking killed it
I
forever.
think the Ninja Turtles had variety too. Like I wanted to bring up who's your favorite Ninja Turtle because everyone has one. And if you had a girl who needed to play, she could be April O'Neil.
Of course.
By incorporating that one female character in a way where she, let's face it, the original April in the cartoons is kind of a ditz, but at the same time, that was a female character who was always going on an adventure and always ready to go.
It was the 80s.
Absolutely. And so,
Which really pissed me off whenever we saw the movie that April O'Neil wasn't in a fucking yellow jumpsuit.
oh yeah, everything about that worked. And there were so many characters. When you played as Ninja Turtles too, it was easy to get a hold of a broom, screw off the end, and have a bow. You could be Donatello.
Oh, yeah.
Cool
everything.
parents would buy
So,
nunchucks.
what we would do is we would put our socks on and we would push in between our
Yes.
toes
I've done
and
that.
Yeah.
middle right there, so it looked like we had turtle feet because they only had the two toes.
Absolutely. And also it endorsed.
cut our bandanas.
Oh yeah, dude, and it
cut holes
endorsed
in
the
them.
karate thing. Who didn't take karate when you were a kid? Did you take karate? Did you take karate?
Taekwondo.
Dude, I'm just saying, some form of martial arts between the Karate Kid and this, and the Three Ninjas Kick Back, and like the 90s.
Oh,
Yeah,
about
dude.
the
the
90s
It was all about ninjas.
It's all ninjas.
American Ninja. Fucking Michael Dudikoff.
Dude, it's
Fucking
all ninja. And that's what I'm saying is we all wanted that. That's funny you bring that up, though. In Europe, they didn't have the ninja part. It was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. And they got rid of the nunchucks. He doesn't have a nunchuck.
That's so PC.
He has a fucking long shot, basically, is what it is. Like a hook thing where he can shoot at stuff. and they
A
changed the
boomerang?
cartoon.
Like a grappling hook.
A grappling hook. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. And that they changed that because ninjas, they'd had a lot of problem with violence with kids and ninjas. Now that was the other thing.
The fucking triads are attacking the fucking
It's
prime
the
minister
Yakuza.
of fucking.
Well, I remember Christian groups were against the Turtles when I was a kid, so much to the point where my mom was a very heavy Christian involved in the church. She threw away all of our Ninja Turtles. She threw them away. And later I asked her, I said, why'd you do that? She goes, well, they look like little demons, so I threw them away. I was like, why'd you do that? She goes, I did a lot of stupid things back then. She just admitted to it. She was cool about it. She was like, I'm sorry, I did stupid stuff. But I remember one day we had turtles, and the next day we were like, where'd they go? Where's our turtles? What happened, Mom?
Who was your favorite side character?
Gotta be Casey Jones, right?
I was gonna say Casey
Gotta be,
Jones.
right?
Oh yeah, Casey
Gotta
Jones
be.
was
Casey Jones
had to
is,
be everybody's
he's
favorite.
the fifth turtle, right? Like, we all consider him like part of that group.
There is a missing fifth turtle that they introduced.
A female turtle later that they introduced into the next evolution
The next
or whatever.
generation or
Yeah,
whatever.
when it became like
Yeah.
a Power Rangers show.
She's
Yeah.
like, she's like
Well,
a
so they
shit.
had the Power Rangers meet up with the Ninja Turtles also.
Yes, it was part of that group, that Saban thing that was going on. But yeah, it's a
But-
female turtle.
I will say in the original movie, Elias Koteas, who played Casey Jones in it.
Awesome. Let's talk about that.
I
This
just
is
want to
great.
say, Mandela Effect, it wasn't Chris Maloney. It was completely somebody different.
No, it was Elias Koteas.
Yes.
Yeah, he just said his name.
No, I didn't know. I got into an argument with somebody about
But in my
this.
mind, you're right. it
Who was
is
just
Chris
like,
Maloney.
oh, those Chris Maloney's like, no, motherfucker.
No.
It was this guy.
This guy was the
was the Lucas talking now.
he's the protagonist in the movie The Prophecy.
Yeah.
With Christopher Walken.
And he's badass in Let the Right One In. He
Yes.
fucking kills it in
Yeah.
the movie. Let's talk about that movie, though.
He's also good in Lucas talking.
That movie is, next to Star Wars, the most successful independent film ever made. That
It
movie,
was one of the first New Line Cinema movies made
Exactly.
also, right?
That movie was brought on, and it is 100% independently financed. It was not financed by New Line. It was later purchased by New Line for distribution. That movie was made by a British director, who I can't think of his name, who went in with such a passion for the comic book and the cartoon and said, I want to make a grime, gritty version of this. That movie is probably the best representation of the Turtles we will ever get, period, done. It
Well,
is the
you know
perfect movie.
What fucking made it for me at that time, because this was mid '80s, and at the time Corey Feldman was killing everything at that point.
100%.
And then to hear him as Donatello was like, holy shit!
Didn't you say you and your brother were shocked by
Oh
that?
yeah,
You like,
we were shell shocked by it.
very nicely done. Very nice.
But hearing his voice in it, it just gave more clout to the movie.
Now, did you see that movie in the theater?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The day it came out, me and my two older brothers went and saw it, while my mom and dad went and saw some other R-rated or fucking
Basic
some other
Instinct.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, probably.
Getting all horned up in the other
Yeah.
theater, and you're over there.
We were at the AMC theaters right across from the Parks Mall at that time, or I guess it was General Cinema at that time. But that movie was like, fuck yes.
Now, how did you feel once it ended? Did it satisfy? You never went like, oh, that was
Oh
shit.
no, yeah, I wanted more Ninja Turtle toys after that point.
Yeah, you're like, let's go. KB Toys is right over
Yeah.
there. How about you, Hobbs? Where'd you see that movie?
I saw it on VHS. I think these movies came out in theaters. I think before I was even born.
Wait,
I'm
what?
pretty sure.
89? When did the first one come out? 90?
Yeah, I definitely saw the movie before the cartoon. I remember my uncles had a pretty intense collection of VHS tapes, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was one of them. I just
What
fucking
do you mean by pretty intense, the
like
collection?
he had like my uncle, rest in peace, King. He was mentally handicapped, and he like one of his things that he collected VHS movies. I can legit say it was a fucking library's worth. He had about 28 boxes, about 18 by 20, like chock full of VHS tapes, just like fucking like.
So how
stacked
did you
up.
come upon that one? That you saw it? You
I
wanted
was
to
like,
watch it?
I remember asking him, I was like, hey, King, can I watch a movie? He goes, yeah, just go through and see what you want to pick. And I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that piqued my interest, so I put that on. Like,
And that box was bomb.
Nice.
It was black with the turtles in front of the lettering, dude. That was a bomb.
The
fucking-
green lettering.
Yeah, dude, that was
Scrolling down and
amazing.
saw them pop out of the sewer.
Oh, dude.
and I remember just thinking, like, oh, I want to see this.
Fuck yeah, you did. You were right.
Yeah.
We were on our way to Florida on one of the few trips we ever took as a family to visit my uncle. And my parents got like us little cards because there was trading cards at the time for the movie.
Had those
And
as
we
well.
had like a couple packs of those, and we would go look at
Had
them
the
back
green
and forth.
news around them with the little fucking
Exactly.
regular logo.
And I had no idea the movie was coming out. And I'm like, well, I can't wait to see this. And we got to Florida, and they were like, well, we got pizza and a movie for you guys. And it was the fucking movie. It was already out. So I never even knew it existed. And I don't know if my parents planned this or not, but we got to Florida, and they're like, here you go. And I remember it being like a religious experience watching that movie.
Yeah.
And my uncle's small trailer and just being like, this is fucking amazing. And I remember thinking how evil it was at the end whenever the Shredder got crushed. But now I watch it and I'm just like, he got crushed. Fuck this motherfucker. It was awesome. That movie delivered in so many ways. And they swore. There was fights. The foot soldiers were people, which was kind of cool. Like I said, it's the perfect amalgamation of the cartoon, the comics put together.
So there's a scene in it, in the first movie, where they go to the farmhouse.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of Avengers Age of Ultron.
Absolutely.
Whenever they go all back to the house. You know what I'm saying?
And they recuperate after it.
But then you can see the actor's mouth.
Yeah.
Inside of what's his face's mouth.
It's not perfect, but you know what? Even that, like that little scene where she's getting to know them and each of their personalities are so different. And she's journaling about it. And then when Raphael wakes up and he's like, what the hell's going on? What are you guys doing? And like, it's just, there's so much character and realism to that movie. And those animatronics fucking work. It's so good.
Did Jim Henson not?
He did.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But he was upset after the end product because of the level of violence. He didn't like that.
Yeah, he didn't want his name attached to it.
But he passed away shortly after that. And the Henson shop did work in the second and the third movie.
Yeah, watch the Defunct Land. That's Jim Henson.
Fucking so good, right? Have you been watching that?
Yes,
I have. Oh my God, Javi. If you have not been watching the Defunct Land TV Jim Henson like series, go watch it. I will fucking... That is amazing what he has put together. Everything he does is really good, but god damn it, the Funkland TV, Jim Henson.
Jim Henson was no
fucking deal. Did you cry at the end, the last one? Did you watch it yet?
I got
They show the memorial.
Up.
Dude, I had to stop. Now, I've seen that scene with Big Bird before where he says, thank you, Kermit, and that made me...
Yeah, no.
Oh, dear Lord.
Come on, we're doing our own thing here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that
up.
No,
dude, you're so right. People need to go watch that shit. It's amazing.
I always like always talk about the Big Bird and the Kermit thing.
Oh, dude, it's heartbreaking.
Fuck, man.
It's heartbreaking.
It's
but that first movie is so good, and that does play part in it, and the storyline and the way it ends. The second movie, I like just as much as the first.
I
and
love
some
the
people
second
don't.
one.
Now, they toned down the violence. You'll notice in the second movie, they never use their weapons. They never use their weapons. And Corey Feldman's gone, which is kind of depressing. But other than that, that movie for me is just as fun as the first movie.
Well, at that point in time, Vanilla Ice was the shit.
Yeah. How about the Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go? Is that still
I fucking love that shit.
Is that still not like in your
Ninja, rap, ninja, rap.
And I think because of the success of that is why they did the Coming Out of the Shell tour after that.
That it totally was.
And
but then they added Toki and Razor.
And everyone wanted Bebop and Rocksteady.
Of course.
From the cartoons.
Why would you not give us that?
And I'm still not sure why they didn't.
That's one of the things that fucking pissed me off.
If you look at Bebop and Rocksteady, I think for the time, I'm pretty sure those would have been a serious undertaking to do like puppet-wise.
No.
I think it's
No. They could have easily done the same puppetry and making of the puppets at that point, I guess. Or
they could have done
the prosthetics or...
Yeah, it would have been cake. Like they did Toka and Razor way more difficult.
Why could you not do the same?
One of them was already a turtle, so bam, that's already done. It was just a bee because he was a snapping turtle. Razor was just a fucking wolf. I mean, you gotta think Bebop and Rocksteady was a rhinoceros and a fucking giant pig.
There is no reason they could not have done Bebop and Rocksteady.
They could have done it easily.
There's no way. They could have done Krang back then.
Yes.
Like, are you kidding
And that's
me?
one thing that really did piss me off also. We didn't get to see fucking Krang.
Why did we never get to see Krang?
I think he would have, I really do think it's because it was too hard to
Did he show up in the later movies?
He did. In the second Michael Bay movie, which I like. I like those Michael Bay movies.
I do
don't care
also.
what anyone says. We went to see the first one.
Yeah.
And when they go down Michael Bay Mountain for a half hour, I was so fucking pumped, dude. That when there's snow down... Javi's making faces you can't see right now.
I liked it. And also, I really did like Johnny Knoxville as Leonardo.
I did too. And I also... Like, I love when they get all cracked up at that one point. They're like, let's go. We got to do this. Like, the whole thing works for me. That first movie was fun. And the second movie was just as fun.
Yeah.
So I have no idea why they didn't do well. I feel like, and we talked about...
You have no idea why they didn't do well?
No, but we talked about this earlier. We talked about Mortal Kombat. And we talked about this also with the Marvel characters. It's okay to adapt and change things. It's okay to make them new. It's okay to make them different. But as long as you keep the spirit of the thing, I am there.
Agreed.
I feel like those Turtles movies, while they are fast-paced, while they are different, are the only version of that. Like, I don't like the Transformers movies. The third one I like, and we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But I like how it's kind of hyper and fast, and I feel like they got the interaction of the characters, the Turtles, right in those movies.
The spirit of the series.
And that second movie, Bebop and Rocksteady, are fucking hilarious.
Yes.
They're so good in that movie.
I don't know, for me personally, I just think that movie, instead of keeping the spirit of the Turtles, they got the spirit of Michael Bay.
It's fine. I'm okay with you mentioning those. Have you ever watched any of the continuing Turtle series that they've done? The second cartoon, the third one, the CGI? The CGI Nickelodeon one is unbelievably good.
Got Kevin Smith in it
It's
also.
so fucking good, dude. You gotta check that shit out.
I did
Oh,
see
yeah,
a-
the fourth movie you're talking about.
No,
I'm talking
but
about
I'm saying, like, but yes.
the fourth movie's got Kevin
With
Smith in it. He plays a
CGI
chef or
chef.
something. But
Yep.
the CGI Turtles show on Nickelodeon, go watch it. It is so good. I think it's just called TMNT. It's
You
talking
see
about
the crossover with Batman?
yeah, dude.
When Batman
Actually,
threw
that
down
came
the
out like
Shredder.
2 months ago. I need
really
to
good.
watch that shit. But Turtles 2, Baxter Stockman was good. I liked the fact that we got Super Shredder, which
But we have Medea playing Baxter.
yeah, but that's the newer one. You're right. Which I was fine with too,
I
even though
was
he's a
also.
terrible
I
actor.
don't care.
He was
But-
a good toy, though, man. I really liked
but-
Baxter.
Baxter was fucking dope. That was like one of the best bad guys, especially
Yes.
when we were fucking playing with it. Like,
But I also like the fact that they did do Medeaism because the original comics version of Baxter is black too.
no, I didn't
They-
care about that. But I was just talking about Tyler
Oh, yeah.
Perry playing.
But I thought that was kind of cool that they went back to that because the second Turtles movie we got Baxter Stockman, we got a different April O'Neil. Did that ever bother you guys in the movies? Like the first April O'Neil, something Hogue, I can't think of her name. She was smoking hot.
Yeah,
I could have sworn it was Adventures of
She was a
Elizabeth
redhead.
Show.
Yeah, I think she
Was
was.
Elizabeth Show?
No, it's Hogue.
It's something.
No,
Hogue.
it's something Hogue. It's
Yeah.
like
So it
Allison
wasn't
Hogue.
Elizabeth Hogue.
It's Allison Hogue or something
Allison
like
So
that.
it wasn't Elizabeth Shue.
No,
No.
I could have sworn that
Elizabeth
it was.
Shue
No.
was hot as fuck.
She's fucking
though.
hot. Oh my God.
But all right. So the second Turtles movie we like pretty much across the board. Like I said, Super Shredder at the end, they take him out.
Well, so they had Ernie Reyes Jr. in it as part of the catalyst.
You're
of it.
right.
Okay,
I
so
like
he was
him.
the
He's the Robin.
He's the
He's
pizza delivery boy at
Yeah.
the beginning who actually knows fucking ninjutsu.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember now.
So this guy's had a long career of doing these movies because his dad, Ernie Reyes Sr., was a fight choreographer for Bruce Lee movies and shit like that. I think. Either way, Ernie Reyes Jr., he was in Last Dragon. Y'all remember The Last
No,
Dragon?
I never saw it.
Had Ty-Mac and Show Enough. Oh my god.
Is that Bruce Leroy, Last Dragon?
Yes.
I fucking love that movie.
So he is the little fucking kid who's like, Leroy!
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was a little kid in it, okay?
Holy
and then,
shit.
so he was also the star of Surf Ninjas.
I've never seen Surf Ninjas.
Surf
Dude.
Ninjas is the fucking shit.
Surf Ninjas is one of the best, hands
Surf
down.
Ninjas is fucking
It is
great.
pure 90s gold.
Yeah.
Dude, if you've never seen it,
It was the
we will
catalyst
watch
that
it.
caused Three Ninjas.
Dude, we will watch that shit. Surf Ninjas, it was financed by Sega to sell the Game Gear. That's why they made that, okay?
Game Gear.
Yes, one of the key items of the movie is
The Game Gear, and he's playing the game that they're selling.
It's Sega's answer to the Wizard, but as much as the Wizard's fine, I love Surf Ninjas.
Oh, Surf Ninjas was
Surf
shit.
Ninjas-
And the fucking bad guy is Leslie fucking Nielsen. Are you fucking
dude,
killing
you got
me?
the kid. Oh,
Yeah.
God damn it. I love Surf Ninjas. And it's got Tone Loc in it.
Yep.
Tom
Dude,
Loc?
yeah,
Tone
sure,
Loc.
that guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he funky cold Medina all over the
Yeah.
place, dude.
Man,
you have not seen it,
What are
you
you,
will
some
watch
kind
it, dude.
of Surf Ninjas?
Oh, yeah, dude. It's fucking amazing. How
The guy from
Okay.
Ace Ventura.
So,
Yes.
did you ever see The Rundown with The Rock and
Yeah,
Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
So, Ernie Reyes Jr. is the main guy that Rock fights like halfway through the movie
Are
in
you
the fucking
serious?
jungle. Yes, that's him.
And like I said, I like him in this movie. What's
Oh,
the name
he's
of his
great.
character? Ernie?
I
I'm
believe
trying to
it's
think.
Ernie also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's see.
I believe they called him Ernie. I'm
let's
not
see
sure.
what his character's name. Oh, Kino. That's his character.
Kino.
Kino. I really think I like that, and to the point where I think that character belongs in that movie. Like I said, he's
Of
the
course.
Robin to the,
Yeah.
the Turtles.
Yeah.
The other character, Tatsuo, who is the bad guy, the Shredder's first in command.
In
or
the
he's-
first
he's
movie?
just number one. He's in the first and the second
Yeah.
movie. I really like that
I
character
did also.
too, dude.
He seemed like he
badass.
was straight out of Bloodsport.
Dude, he was so fucking
Yeah.
cool. Ah, man. Then later, and this becomes kind of the dying of the Turtles. You get along, Turtles 3, where they bring in the time.
Turtles in Time.
Yeah, they bring in the
One
back in
that they had
time.
going for that was the Tarzana boy.
Back in time.
Oh,
But they bring back Casey Jones. They bring back that whole, like, they do a weird thing, which I think Bill and Ted kind of did, where they took all the historical figures and they took them out and they did different things.
Right.
They did kind of a trope. I think He-Man did that too, where they had like some people and they're like, "Oh, here's our reality," and then just putting the turtles in ancient Japan. I liked it as a kid, but I knew it wasn't as good as the first two.
Yeah.
Well, that's whenever also I think I was getting that age where it's like, okay, it's not cool anymore. And also they were releasing the turtle figures. I think the last one that I bought was actually Samurai Leonardo.
Right.
Or my parents bought for me at that point. Yeah, I did not get behind that at all.
No, I feel like the animatronics aren't as good in that movie. And like, who's the bad guy? Some random guy with like a fucking, I don't even know what he had, like a fleece shirt or something like that.
I have
Some
no
such a
fucking clue.
random fucking guy.
Like, I think I maybe watched it once.
Yeah.
pieced together, like never all the way through,
Yeah,
just catching it at certain points.
And also making Michelangelo have a love interest never worked for me because I'm like, Mikey wouldn't do that. Like, he pines after April. Sure, he's horny, but he doesn't have an
Mikey
actual
fucks
love.
and leaves.
Yeah. Mikey doesn't stick around for that shit. What the fuck?
He sticks in and sticks out.
Yeah, exactly. He gets a little salmonella in there, and then he moves on. It's just the third movie was the dying of it, and it really did kill the franchise in a lot of ways, where it took a rest, and then eventually they brought it back in different ways. And eventually, Eastman and Large sold the rights to Nickelodeon. So Nickelodeon outright owns the Ninja Turtles now. So they will make Turtle stuff from now until the end of whenever they're sold to Disney, which I'm sure will be soon.
Yeah. I mean, they worry about the Bible.
But how about the games? We were kind of already talked about it. Everything involved in the Turtles are amazing, but those arcade games... What did it feel like seeing that arcade game whenever you went to the, wherever, skating rink, or you went to a shopping mall or a pizza place?
It was, why the fuck did I not have more money with me?
Exactly.
I ran out of fucking quarters.
I think I told this story
so
about
fast.
Going to Hills in Pennsylvania and being like, seeing it and wishing that we could play the fucking arcade game. We didn't always get to play, but occasionally we did. And I just remember the graphics being better than anything we'd ever saw. And it just called you. It's like, come over here, spend money.
Right. And because it was so hot at the time, you didn't realize it, but I guess for me growing up, it's the exact same fucking game as the X-Men arcade.
It is. But which is the better property?
The Turtles one was way better, especially at the time given, because at that point in my life, I didn't give a shit about the X-Men. I only started finding about the X-Men until way after the fucking Ninja Turtles.
I think the X-Men was the next thing. I think it rolled over from the Turtles into the X-Men.
But it was the same fucking game, though.
Oh, yeah,
the 4-player fucking scheme, side-scroller. Yeah.
100%. And also more selection. I think that plays into the big thing about the Turtles is you had variety.
Yeah.
And especially also with G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, you had variety. Multiple characters. And they sold you more toys.
G.I. Joe. I don't know, man. They had a lot of fucking characters.
Deep roster.
I gotta say, bro.
Dude.
I love... that was my shit growing up.
I'm still excited about the fact that you love Bucky O'Hare, too. How do you feel about the Turtles now? Does it hold a special place?
Of course.
Yeah.
It
always will.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were part of my forming years,
Are you excited that it's still around and that like this next generation has their own version of it?
Of course. I just hope the kids that are...
I hope they kind of look back on it the same way that we do. Yeah.
There's no way they can because it was so big. It was everything, dude. Like the Turtles... Like I said, pizza became a thing because of the Turtles. Toys, like the fact that you could play with your friends as the Turtles. The video games. It was the perfect, 90s license.
You gotta think whatever these kids that are witnessing it now that actually fall in love with it.
They don't understand.
What are they gonna... No, but they're gonna grow up and they're gonna do research on it. And they're gonna see how far back it goes.
I guess.
And they're gonna get a bigger fucking sense of fucking...
It's the closest thing to probably Star Wars.
It's the same with us with Batman and Superman and fucking everything else. As we grow into this shit, we want to look back and we want to know all about it. Right. And just... You do your research and you get a deeper love for it.
And you're right, because there's different iterations
so much lore.
of it too. And you can go, okay, this one was this. Because the second cartoon series... Krang and the Shredder were one. They weren't separate. Krang was the Shredder, and he was this little creature that lived inside the Shredder's outfit. Yeah. So they change the lore all the time. They're changing what they do, and they do weird things. Like there's a cartoon where they did the first cartoon series and the second cartoon series where they met up and they did a multiverse, and they discussed that in the cartoon. So it's always aware of its lore and its long tail. And
what was Krang's body called?
Oh, it was called shit. I don't know. Do you know?
No, I'm just asking you right now. I don't know what it was.
I always call it the suit, but he always yelled, "Oh, Shredder!"
I felt like the name of the fucking bald guy with the glasses that had him in his belly. I felt like it had its own specific name.
I think.
Oh, it was just called Krang's Android Body or Krang's Robot Body.
Okay, right, never mind.
I mean, anything else you guys want to talk about? I have this series of cards, from the cartoon that sits on the table. Whenever, people come over and they want to look at them.
It's got the green edging around the corners.
Exactly.
With the old TMNT logo with the orange in the back that said...
It just brings back happy memories because my brothers, we each had a turtle that went to us. It was always my brother Mike was Leonardo, my brother Matt was Raphael, I was Michelangelo, and my cousin Ronnie was Donatello.
Yeah.
My little sister got to play as April O'Neil. And I remember just being we're going to go play as Ninja Turtles and hitting the tree with the broom or whatever we had, little toys that we could pretend was this stuff. I remember being on the top of a staircase with my cousins DJ and Josh and having the turtles and being like, fuck Shredder, and like throwing Shredder down that son of a bitch and being like, all right, we're at the top, we win. Pillowcases, bedding, all that stuff, the movies, you like, what you guys want to watch? It would calm us down. It was like Ritalin for the kids. They're like, you guys want to watch the Turtles? Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
They're just, it's a suppressant.
Exactly, dude. It was just a be-all, end-all. We would pay our attention. We would
But then
direct
it's like,
or
go
something.
outside and fucking play after that.
Absolutely,
I do
dude.
kind of like that Krang as a Squidbilly.
He is a
Yeah,
Woo! You better read this literature.
You're so right about that.
Yeah, same way. I grew up with, like throwing stars, I guess. Back in the day, we'd call them ninja stars or fucking Chinese stars. I would take them and throw them at my Turtles characters as I got older, and I didn't give a shit about them anymore. Like,
Fuck the Turtles.
Yeah, it played a big part
Absolutely.
on me growing up.
Brought a lot of
honestly.
happiness.
Yeah, it really did.
I remember my favorite memory I have of the Turtles. I remember they did a line of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys because they would shoot like pizza. Like,
I remember that.
Pizza pies out of their chest. So they had like bulk of most, so they could actually make room to so you could shoot it through. That was my favorite turtle toy. Was that one?
There was
I would shoot my brother in the face all the time.
No, he's right.
He
I
broke it.
remember they had these slots in their fucking
Yeah, I remember
that.
I remember the weird one where you could mutate them from like a turtle to the Teenage Mutant
It was like a
Ninja Turtle.
transformer.
Yeah, it was kind of weird like that.
So that was just at the fucking edge of whenever
It kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Right. And like
So
I said, that third movie...
They're trying to adapt. They're trying to make more of those.
I'll never forget when they were trying to sell that third movie. They went on like Oprah as the Turtles, and they had all these kids around. And I remember they had freckles on their faces.
Yeah,
like,
they started adding spots on.
Yeah, I
them.
was like, Turtles don't have freckles. What the fuck is this? I don't recognize this. I'm out.
I don't need my turtles getting old with liver spots.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm like, it's what pizza does.
It's kind of like a death call whenever you take your main characters for the third movie to Tokyo. Bad News Bears, that's when it dropped off. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I still like that. Bad News
Toxic
Bears in
Avenger
Tokyo.
dropped off for me when I went to Tokyo.
Well, I do like that. We talked about briefly the fourth movie, the CGI movie. Yeah. I went to theaters to see that, and I did enjoy it. Okay. And then there was a nice little gap between that and Michael Bay Mountain Turtles, which I also like. And there's rumors now that they're going to bring them back again. Nickelodeon has a license. They want to make another movie. It will not be a sequel to Turtles Out of the Shadows. It'll be a new one.
Let's get fucking Taika Waititi to fucking do a goddamn fucking
So we just have to
Teenage
direct
Mutant Ninja
everything
movie.
from our childhood?
No, let us do the Turtles movie. Let us make something like that. Let us go nostalgia.
Let's write our own.
Let's do
Let's
some cool
write
shit.
our own turtle script.
Fucking, let's do it. We're just going to rewrite the first movie because
it
it was so fucking good. I'm just going to rewrite that and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll tie them both together.
dude, that would be amazing.
Mortal Kombat versus TMNT.
I say bring back the puppets too.
TMKT.
Here's my issue. Stop CGIing everything. It's fine. But we all know CGI doesn't always look great. It looks funny.
Practical effects.
Do some practical. Bring back the suits. Those suits looked fucking good.
They did.
Bring back animatronics.
Except for
We're
when you saw the
with it.
mouth.
Yeah, that one point. Yeah, that's weird because it's a mouth within a mouth.
It was like a fucking
It was
0.3
bad.
second shot,
It was
but
bad.
still.
Yeah. But I think that you do the Turtles. You've already done them CGI. It's fine. Let's do animatronics again. Let's get back to some puppetry. Let's see what it looks like. Yep. It's the same thing with the Dark Crystal that's about to come out on Netflix. They thought about mixing puppetry with CGI, and they decided, fuck it, let's do puppets.
Yeah,
all the way.
We want to see real. We want to see in a room. There's something about the way that moves that cannot be replicated.
Exactly.
And no one does
is that the right
puppets
word?
like
Replicated.
Thank you. Replicated. It just can't be done. I want to see more practical. Give me practical.
Agreed.
I love
That was
the
part of the fucking joy of episode 7 whenever we saw it's coming out. That's what they went back to the original fucking style. They used practical effects and fucking they kind of stepped away from CGI. I mean, there's ways that you can blend it, yeah, but it worked. It really fucking worked.
Give me a go.
Like I remember, to me, practical effects are far more terrifying than actual CGI. Like
Exactly.
You ever seen the movie The Witches with Angelica Houston?
Yeah.
And they turn the kid to
Jim
a
Henson
fucking
was
mouse?
involved with that, too.
Yeah. To this day, that scene where they like fucking reveal their true self still terrifies me to this day.
What about A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 when Freddy turns into the fucking snake?
Fuck.
Dude,
I
I
can't
love everything about that movie.
Yeah.
I like. I think a lot of that movie works, but practical is where it's at.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. Let's see some fucking miniatures, like even just like Temple of Doom with the miniatures on the track and shit like that.
The
It works.
Mandalorian that they're working on.
Dude, I was just thinking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
How the fact that they went out of their way to use miniatures for the ships and stuff like
Yep.
that. I'm so pumped. I love the fucking Turtles. I know you guys love
We
the
love
Turtles
the
too.
Turtles.
And I hope you guys had fun listening to this. If you enjoyed the podcast, please join our Facebook group, We Are Error. Come in there. Talk cool to each other. Also, send me an email at quackattack5000. Go to our YouTube page, quackattack5000. Check out the video I'm about to make for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rescue Palooza. You're gonna fucking love it.
Watch it.
Go play that game with your friends. We're about to play this game and jerk off to it. This has been Duck. I've been here with
Jake.
Javi.
and
Cowabunga!
Yeah. Turtles in a house shell.
Turtle.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go ahead and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.